There's been one big difference this year or this time versus last year. The developers have seemed to acclimate to this new environment, and we all have capital partners, lenders. So last year was something, right? We're all tired of hearing about volatility. In fact, if you look up volatility in the dictionary, I'm sure you would see the year 2022. And again, we're very tired of hearing about it. We saw several deals go on pause. But alternatively, we saw a lot of deals needing to close. And whether that was because the cities were behind the development of affordable housing or preservation of affordable housing, or simply as a practical matter in that bond cap, the developer's bond cap was expiring. We needed to get some deals done during this environment. And so what did that mean? What did that look like? Well, we saw multiple iterations of budgets, continuous requests for soft funds and gap funding to help fill the gap. And it was a collective effort. Everyone had to chip in to make these deals work. We've got some subject matter experts who know what they're doing. And we worked with our capital partners to ensure that projects worked, that source and uses were feasible. Capital partners stuck to their terms during this volatile environment. We found innovative ways to make deals work, whether it was keeping rate locks during an increased interest rate environment, extending amortization beyond 40 years, allowing earnout structures, right? So that developers could earn out extra proceeds upon stabilization. I think there's been one big difference this year or this time versus last year. Developers have seemed to acclimate to this new environment, and we all have capital partners, lenders. We've all become accustomed to this environment. And the biggest difference I'm seeing is that we're seeing an influx of 4% bond resyndication opportunities come our way. Significantly more opportunities than we did this time last year, which I think is a big indicator that the market has become accustomed to this type of environment. Floating rate structures are no longer the rage. No one wants to see them. Frankly, very few ask for them, specifically in relation to bonds. And we're all being asked to look at fixed rate construction to perm opportunities. It's all in an effort to eliminate this interest rate risk, right? This increased interest rate risk that we've been seeing for the last couple of years or so. Along the same lines, we've been looking at a lot of opportunities for our private placement bond product. Our institutional partners remain committed to providing capital to the affordable housing space, and we continue to change structures depending on where the market is and find optimal ways to make projects work, right? To make the source and uses feasible. We've also, back to how we're being flexible and how we're adapting to this market, we're providing more interest only during the permanent phase, right? So this is all in an effort to create more cash flow, balance the sources and uses, and we're still continuing earnouts, right? So we're still allowing this ability to trend NOI on a pro forma basis and capture some additional loan proceeds upon stabilization of the project. As of late, funny enough, I think when there's always displacement in the market, when there's always some uncertainty and capital providers begin to exit the market, there's this dependency, and rightfully so, of the agency serving as a backstop for the capital market space. And so we're seeing this with the FHA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. On the FHA side, I'm seeing a lot more requests for 221D4s, new construction projects specifically. And I think a lot of the reason for that is we've seen there have been rumblings of banks exiting the construction lending space as of late. And so again, we're seeing the agency serve as a backstop for this market or that type of development. Fannie and Freddie are also great options, particularly when it comes to short-term fixed rate financing. We're seeing a lot of requests right now for 5 and 7 year loan term options with, let's say, 2 to 3 year yield maintenance periods. And the idea behind that is developers are saying, okay, well, let's lock in fixed rate pricing right now. Let's eliminate interest rate volatility altogether. And in 2 to 3 years, hopefully, if and when rates are down, we'll refinance and capitalize on that interest rate environment. So again, a lot of different options we've discussed in this segment. Private placement is still extremely active. 4% bond markets are still very active. Investors are interested in providing affordable housing, and we've got 221D4 being a great option in providing new construction financing at a time where construction lenders are exiting the market. And then, of course, we've got the short-term fixed-rate loan options with Fannie and Freddie that have continuously been revising their pricing in an effort to provide liquidity for this loan option. I think the idea here and a huge benefit of bellwethers, we're capital agnostic. We're here to find the best option for the client, for our borrowers and developers, and especially or particularly at a time when there is uncertainty and interest rate volatility.